sun. I'll be sitting when the evening comes, watching the ships rolling in. Then I'll watch them roll away again. I'm just sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time.
The end of the school year is approaching us pretty quickly, and do you have any idea what that means? Duh, that means that this yearbook's being closer and closer to being finished and for sale out to the public eye. Today, I'll be showing you guys the process of how the yearbook is created.
So as yearbook advisor, what I do is get the kids ready to create the yearbook at the beginning of the year and then just kind of guide them along the way. So it's very hands-off for me. They have, set deadlines that they have to meet, and as they meet them along the way, I check in, I guide as we go, but it's very much a student publication, and I'm just here to make sure it kind of comes together in the end. They start off needing to learn how to do interviews. They start off needing to learn how to take pictures. They have to learn how to use our program. So they learn that. They learn how to use Canva, and they just kind of put it all together. And it's kind of a throw them into the pool and see if they can swim situation, and then rescue as we go. And then as the year goes on, they get better and better. And by the end of the year, it's pretty well self-running machine. The only thing they don't have to do is take the senior portraits and the class portraits, but everything, it comes from nothing. When we start the year, it is a blank spread, and they have to come up with the ideas. They come up with a theme for the yearbook. They come up with the puns that are in the yearbook. They come up with the little mods, which are the infographics, the stories, the pictures, the quotes, everything.
What spreads do you have?
I have football cheer, JV football, competition cheer, varsity softball, robotics, student council, and yearbook staff page.
I have the varsity softball pictures. I did the girls basketball spread and also the boys soccer.
Spring, I have varsity baseball and the senior superlatives.
I have track pictures, senior superlatives, graduation stories.
I have graduation pictures, after prom, JV baseball pictures, and the story for JV softball.
Some of the difficulties would be getting interviews or coming up with stories, maybe even getting people to give you actual answers on things instead of short little sentences or 2 words.
It's difficult to place everything so it's cohesive, so everything fits nice.
And hard to get people to answer in full sentences.
Knowing what to write about.
Some of the skills would probably be being more of a people person and using a site called Canva that we use.
I've learned how to take better pictures, and I've improved my writing skills.
To communicate with others and to be bossy to younger people.
My favorite part would probably be taking pictures, and with Yearbook you get some of the behind the scenes views of sporting events.
The food days.
Taking pictures and showing those pictures to the athletes who are in them, because it makes people feel really cool.
Yeah, just taking pictures and being creative.
I think people next year should do Yearbook because honestly, it's a fun and new experience.
You get to go to a lot of sporting events for free, and you get to take fun pictures.
Well, every year we have to make a yearbook, and with less and less people, it gets harder and harder for the people who are in the class.
We have food days. Yeah.
Because if you don't, it'll be me and Ariel left. And that's not a yearbook. That's That's a crap show.
Yearbook's a really fun class. I don't know why it gets a bad rap. If you stay on top of your work and you are involved and you're enjoying it, it really is fun. And it's one of the only things you make in high school that stays forever. 50 years from now, somebody's going to have your yearbook in their attic or in their house, or they're going to show it to their kids or their grandkids. And you don't say that about your English paper from 9th grade or whatever. That this is something that is people buy and people keep forever.
Lakers, if you haven't already, make sure to go pre-order your yearbook now for only a cost of $55. And you can go do that in the link provided below. Until then, Lakers, see you later.
Hey Lakers, we're here trying out the new driving simulator here in the library, and we're going to test out if it's really like actual driving and why you should come try it out.
Yeah, sponsored by SAD, we had the Bell Fountain Police Department bring in their driving simulator. It's got a practice mode, which is pretty realistic because you have to be careful. The drivers in it are really aggressive, so that's hard enough. Then once you do the practice, you can move on to the impaired, which is to simulate you being drunk. The reactions are just really delayed, so you think you're making this perfect turn and then you end up basically crashing. So this has been brought around towards the end of the year. It'll go to a lot of the other schools. The idea is, with prom coming up, hopefully people get a taste of just how hard that delayed, impaired driving is, that they'll make wise choices here at the end of this year. So.
We're here, we're gonna drive. So my experience started out with getting on the wheel, went a little bit under repaired, had a couple drinks with the buddies, you know what I'm saying? So the experience was a little hard because I had to get used to the brake, check left, right, you know what I'm saying? Move forward. The wheel was really hard to drive with because I was impaired, so it was pretty hard to drive. And you see right here, it was so hard for me to stop because it was just not like how my regular car works. So looking left, right, check my field of vision, turn it. Okay, this thing was a little weird. Moving forward, you know how I'm driving. I'm the best driver around. And it was weird because it didn't give me the arrow until late. So I'm guessing that's just how driving under the influence is. You just don't know where you're going. So I was checking again, seeing if I can turn. All right, I turned. Shoot, I just had a cop car right behind me, saw me, and, got pulled over. So that's the crazy experience. It was a 10 out of 10 experience.
Throughout the years, there's been an increasing number of fatalities resulting from driving under the influence. We encourage you to really think before getting behind the wheel, and not just about your safety, but also the safety of the others on the road. You might be able to make it out of the situation, but not the others. We just encourage you to either call a relative or a friend that can come get you home safely rather than taking the chance yourself.
All right, I ain't going to jail.
Guys cheating the system.
I think practice will let you make those kind of things without just stopping you. You have to crash. Yeah, he's in practice.
I think it was swerve, not that he ran a red light.
What's up, Lakers? I've been reading a lot lately for English, and I've been wondering, do students and teachers actually like these books, or are they just reading because they have to? And I also wondered what it takes to make a good English book. Let's go find out.
I try to choose books that are historically significant, that are considered great pieces of writing or all-time classics. I also then try to choose books that I like, that I think are enjoyable, and that I think the students would also enjoy.
In English 10, we're reading a variety of world literature, so I try to pick things. We have a section that we read a couple of World War II books, and we have a section where we read a couple books from the Middle East. So I just try to pick books that I think kids will enjoy from those places and times.
For the Advanced 12 class, it is the books that are most commonly taught in English classes in college. And for Eurolit and English 12 classes, it is a mix of the classics in Eurolit, but also kind of more modern books that students are more likely to read.
What typically makes a good book for a high school English class is one that will engage the students, make them want to read it, but will also challenge them, whether it's the reading level as a whole, the vocabulary.
I like to pick books that I think the kids are going to find something in the protagonist that they identify with, and that they can learn a little bit of history as well.
A combination of students actually being interested in the ideas that are in the book, and then also those ideas actually applying to their lives.
My favorite book that we're reading this year is Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. It is short, but it tells a very interesting story about two best friends and I can't say anything more than that.
I really like 1,000 Splendid Suns. I think I really like it this year because it's one of the newer offerings that I've given. Instead of the Kite Runner, they can pick 1,000 Splendid Suns. I really like the strong female characters, and I really like just the storyline. I like that learning about Afghanistan and what was happening to women during that time period.
My favorite book to teach is probably Harry Potter because that is the one book that the most students actually read for the first time, and it's interesting to see people get excited about a book that's been available to them for their entire lives.
I compiled a list of my personal favorites, and here are my top 3. At 3, we've got Harry Potter. A really enjoyable book across the board, really easy to read. The characters are also very relatable because they're in high school, and it's a very fun read. Number 2 is Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes. Flowers for Algernon follows a disabled man named Charlie who has a procedure done that makes him a genius. There's a lot of themes in this book, really emotional book. It's a great read if you haven't read it. My favorite book from any English class is The Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. Metamorphosis follows the main character Gregor, who randomly turns into a massive beetle and faces a lot of adversity. There's also a lot of themes in this book, such as depression and anxiety, stuff like that. It's a really good book. I would definitely read it if you haven't. In conclusion, if you're not enjoying the books you're reading for English, take some time to learn a thing or two from these books and make sure you keep reading to maintain those grades.
You give me that funny